Oh, there I was talking without the volume on again. Hi, guys. I remembered to turn the volume on after I only said like 10 words. So that's a record, right? I didn't have my little timer on. So I will wait just a moment to give you guys a little bit of time to join. Hello, hello. Pop into the comments. Let me know that you are here. Today we're talking about how you are not your grades. Okay, we're going to change our mindset around that as part of our nursing school mindset edit. So I did miss a couple of days, you guys. I had a scheduling conflict and all these things came up, but I want you to know that the topics we were talking about on those days are podcast episodes. So I recorded a fabulous episode with Katie Kleber from Fresh RN. She's amazing, all about like how to deal with difficult clinical instructors or maybe difficult nurses and clinical things like that. So I want you guys to go check that out. It was released on Tuesday of this week as a bonus episode, okay? And then the topic from yesterday about chronic illness. I know that's an amazing topic and so many people wanted to talk about it. I did actually just today record a podcast. It will be another bonus episode all about that. So be on the lookout for that one, okay? All right. So today we're talking about how you are not your grades as part of our nursing school mindset edit. So here's what I see in nursing students, kind of two extremes, right? On the one hand, we have the turbo student who just strives so hard to make the perfect 4.0 GPA, right? And then when they fall short of that, it crushes their entire being. And then on the other side of that are students who are just aiming to pass, okay? And both of those are probably not super ideal, okay? So the problem with being the turbo student, which I was that student, is that you can burn out really easily. You start to identify your personal worth with your grades, which is ridiculous. And you can, I'm not saying everybody, but you can lose sight of what's most important. Okay, and we're going to talk about that, what that is in just a little bit. And then the opposite, like the flip side of that, is the student who's just like, I'm just trying to pass. I totally understand accepting that you have just passed, but when just passing is the goal from the outset, that can, for some people, put them into a mindset where they're putting forth just pass effort. Okay. And that's not okay. So there is nothing at all wrong with just passing nursing school at all. It's a ridiculous grading scale. It's a very intense program. It's in a short period of time. There's a ton of material. There's a million reasons why it is perfectly fine if all you do is pass school, as long as your drive, motivation, and effort are to learn and do your very best. That's the most important thing, you guys. So do you see the difference there? Does that make sense? Hop in the comments if that resonates and makes sense to you, okay? Doing great on exams does not mean you're going to be great in clinical. It doesn't mean you're going to be bad in clinical. You can be great at exams and great at clinical. You can be great at exams, but flip out or freeze or are unable to think on your feet, which is what you have to do in clinical, okay? You can do poorly on exams or just squeak by on exams for a million reasons, and none of them have anything to do with how bright you are. So you could be that student that gets the C on the exam, but can think creatively, problem solve, is fabulous with patients, can spot a change in condition like nobody's business. So the two things don't always go together. The only thing that matters is your effort and your motivation to do your best, learn as much as you can, and focus all of that on your end goal, which is to take awesome care of your patients, right? That is the absolute main goal. Okay. Kristen says, I think I'm both. Elaborate on that, Kristen, because I yammered for a while and now I've lost the context of what you were saying. And then Brandy says, yes, makes sense. And so does Amanda. Okay, great. So, oh, hold on, you guys. Okay, so if your goal, like from the outset, is to just pass, right? Then, hold on, you guys. I've got like all these tech issues. Then the challenge with that is that you might just put forth the effort that it takes to just pass. And I want your goal instead to be to learn as much as you possibly can, okay? And then whatever you get on the test is whatever you get on the test, and nobody cares, right? I don't want you to study so much for the grade, even though I get it. I was that student that cared way more than I should have about my grades. At that time, that was the barometer that I used. To me, it was like a competition with myself. Like I needed that yardstick, and that's what kept me motivated. I probably should have had a little bit more. What is the word? Insight, grace, because I did burn myself out. I did get very sick. I didn't thrive like I want you guys to thrive. I want you to, instead of studying for the grade, is study for the person. Okay? And the person is that individual who is in the hospital, let's say if you work in the hospital, who is putting 100% of their trust in you. So that's heavy, right? That's a heavy responsibility. That's a very heavy load. You are the one at the bedside, okay? The doctors aren't at the bedside except for like 2 minutes. You are the one who will notice a change in their condition so that the doctor can come and do things, right? That's your job. That's what you're doing. That's on you. You have to know what you're doing, seeing, assessing. You have to be so on top of things in order to do that. And that person is trusting you explicitly to do that. And if you've ever been a patient in the hospital, you know how vulnerable that makes you, and you really treasure that trust that these people place in you. And I want you to treasure that starting now by studying your tail off for these people, okay? So with that said, you guys, oh wait, I really want to just pop in with what Chelsea says because she's amazing. Yeah, those tests are crazy. There's a million reasons. And we talked about this recently, you guys. We talked about test anxiety. I swear I could talk for half an hour about all the reasons why an amazing person who's super smart, knows everything about the material upside down, forwards, backwards, sideways, diagonally, could take an exam and not get a great score. And it has absolutely zero to do with how much you studied, how smart you are, how well you know the material. It has everything to do with the mindset we have around exams, test anxiety, the pressure, the stakes, all of that. There's so much about it. If you haven't seen that one, I want you to go and watch it, especially if you have test anxiety. Okay, so I know nursing school is very grade focused because that tends to be how we measure our success. I want you guys to start thinking about non-grade victories, okay? Like if you ever try to lose weight, you hear people talking about non-scale victories, like let's not focus on the number on the scale, but let's focus on, other victories like, oh, I fit into this cute dress, or I had the confidence to go surfing, or whatever, right? Those are non-scale victories that don't have you obsessing about a number on the scale. Can you have non-grade victories in nursing school? And this is what I should have focused on, because you have so many more opportunities to have non-grade victories anyway. You could have one every single day as long as you are on the lookout for them, okay? So pop into the chat with an idea for a non-grade victory, okay? And I'm going to share some with you. Liz, yeah, the grading system is another reason that students have a lot of test anxiety. So if a B- is failing in your school, you cannot aim to get a B-, right? Because you'll be cutting it way too close. You have to study and aim and prepare as though you need an A on that exam, so that if you don't get an A, you might still get a B, but at least you're still passing, right? That is a brutal, brutal grading scale, and I feel you. Yes, test anxiety is the real deal. Okay, you guys, some ideas for non-grade victories that I would celebrate if I could go back and do it all over again is it would be amazing as a student to have a really great interaction with the patient where your therapeutic communication gets them through an acute crisis or a rough patch. How about explaining to a patient their medication regimen in a way and they say, finally, I understand how to do this? Or adequately treating someone's pain. That's huge. I guarantee you that person will remember you for a really long time as that angel that finally took their pain seriously and helped them get through that. Getting a patient to do something in their plan of care that they don't want to do. I always feel like a rock star nurse when I get someone to do something super basic that they don't want to do that can have a huge outcome benefit, like walk in the halls. Do you know how much adults don't want to walk the halls? They don't usually. Getting someone up, getting them to do that, that's a great non-grade victory. Preserving someone's dignity while you perform their ADLs, huge non-grade victory. Learning how to do that in a way that maintains your patient's dignity will mean the world to them. I promise you that. Performing skills like basic nursing skills, right? Rocking that dressing change, getting that Foley catheter in, getting an IV in. All of those things are non-grade victories. Speaking up for a patient when they need it, getting them what they need. Asking a really thoughtful question in class. That's a non-grade victory because it made you think and it probably made other students think, right? Saving the patient in sim lab. I don't know. I could keep going, right? So lots and lots of non-grade victories. All right, Anne says getting compliments on clinical performance. Right, like if your instructor or the nurse you're working with that day says, Anne did such a good job, she asked all the right questions. Perfect, then you feel like I'm getting this. I am getting this. Amanda says confidence in clinical, doing a skill that you struggled. Yes, absolutely. It's so nice when the pieces fall together, right? You finally get your hands on something and you get to actually do it. Yep, some kudos. Kudos are huge, you guys. Compliments from nurses at clinical. Ooh, assessing a newborn respiratory rate and heart rate and getting the same answer. Yeah, those newborns, man, they go a mile a minute. That is not easy. That was some tough assessments we had to learn. So anyway, you guys, that is what I wanted to talk about with you today. You are not your grades. You are instead the effort, the hard work, the drive, your dedication, your motivation to do all of those things for the person that you'll be taking care of someday. That's the goal, okay? That's the goal right there. So tomorrow, you guys, we're going to talk about kind of a related topic, which is bouncing back from a failure. So I'll be talking about that tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific. There's a slight chance, you guys, okay? So we're remodeling. That's why I'm in this like weird space right now. I'm actually in my den. And this is the only place in the entire house that's not full of boxes. So we're remodeling the upstairs. So everything's moved down here. It's chaos. We're building out a little studio. Anyway, it's gonna be great. But with that, tomorrow, we've been waiting weeks for someone to come and do our floors. Finally, someone is coming. Of course, tomorrow, like right when I'm supposed to do this 11 a.m. thing with you. So if I'm a little bit late, don't panic. I'll be there. If I'm on time and I get interrupted, it's because I have to let the floor guy in because I need my floors done. Okay, so that's that. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, and we'll chat soon. Oh, thanks, Amanda. I just have to put this up on the screen so that we can all appreciate it. Amanda, do you have curly hair? Because if you do, you totally get, like, when you have a good hair day, it's a thing. So I just got it cut yesterday. Was it yesterday? Maybe it was Monday. I forget what day. I think it was Monday. I have a hairstylist that just does curly hair, but she took a leave of absence for 2 years. She hasn't cut my hair in 2 years, so I've been going to like a regular hair person, and I'm sorry, but regular hair people cannot cut curly hair. They just can't. So you got to go to a curly hair specialist who cuts your hair dry, curl by curl. That's what she does. So if you can find somebody that does that, Amanda, you will be in great shape. Okay. Come enjoy our Texas humidity. Who is that? Is that Pam? I don't know if that's Pam. My friend Pam sometimes watches these. She's not a nursing student, but she'll hop on, and she's in Texas right now. But it might not be Pam. Okay, you guys. Anyway, thank you for the hair compliment, Amanda. It definitely boinged up quite a bit after she cut it, for sure, which is good. I mean, that's a good thing. Okay, bye, everyone. I will see you soon. Okay, bye.